What would you do if you saved someone's life and their parent screamed at you for it? This happened to me during one of the strangest nights I've ever had working at a hotel, and by the end of it, we discovered something that made the entire situation even worse. I was working as the night manager at a fairly large hotel where we usually had 4 overnight staff members on duty, myself as the manager on duty, a cleaner or houseman, the night auditor, and a security guard. The security guard's job was to continuously walk the building, which has somewhere between 8 and 12 floors, mainly checking for noise complaints or any problems in the hallways. Our hotel sits very close to a plaza that's packed with bars, including a pretty sketchy country bar that has a reputation for over-serving people and not checking IDs very well. For reference, this is in Canada where the legal drinking age is 19. Earlier in the night, we saw 3 or 4 women in their late 40s and a younger girl who looked barely legal leaving the hotel shortly after 11 p.m., all clearly dressed for a night out at that country bar. I remember thinking it was a little strange to go clubbing with your mom and her friend. Things became serious very quickly. We both had medical gloves on us, thankfully. So we rolled her onto her side into the recovery position to make sure she wouldn't choke, and then we called an ambulance immediately. While we waited for the ambulance to arrive, the girl's mother and her friends returned to their rooms. We informed the mother that we had called an ambulance because her daughter was unconscious, unresponsive, and vomiting, which can be extremely dangerous if someone passes out like that. Instead of being relieved, she started screaming at us. She was furious. She demanded to know how we dared to call an ambulance and kept shouting about what people would think. She said her husband was a first responder and that he would find out about this, and she even threatened to sue the hotel. Meanwhile, we were still focused on making sure her daughter could breathe safely while waiting for help to arrive. A few minutes later, the houseman came up with the EMTs, and they immediately started checking the girl's airway and vital signs before loading her onto a stretcher to take her to the hospital. Then something happened that made the whole situation even more shocking. One of the EMTs actually recognized the mother. That's when we all found out the girl wasn't even of legal drinking age at all. She was only 16 years old. The EMT looked straight at the mother and calmly told her that she should probably call her husband and explain what was happening. Suddenly, the screaming stopped. The mother just stood there for a moment before leaving with the ambulance crew, crying the whole way. After everything settled down and the hallway was finally quiet again, all of us just stood there processing what had happened. In my years working overnight shifts at hotels, I've seen plenty of strange things. But being yelled at for calling an ambulance that may have saved a 16-year-old girl's life is still, by far, one of the weirdest and most stressful nights I've ever experienced.